ladies and gentlemen, here we are finally for ACNA Season 2. Season opener at Hillside. It was going to be Daytona, but plans changed. Something happened there. Testing crashed, so... Now, they haven't explained much on that yet, but essentially, they somewhat relocated to here at Hillside. And, oh my gosh, before we get to the drivers, and we're going to be quick about it, it's 10 minutes long. Good lord, there's 45 full-time drivers for Season 2. Now, that might thin out over time depending on the performance, because I'm not sure how much some of these guys can afford to run that badly. I don't know. But there's 45 full-time drivers, but a lot of the part-time guys from last season, from what I heard, are coming back. So, there's going to be like, I don't know, 60 guys? 60 cars throughout? I don't know. We already have like 21 cars for this alone. Yeah, 21. The top 35 were, by the way. So the guys outside the top 35 in points, well, the guys who were in the top 35 in points at the end of last season, they're locked in here. And that means the guys outside the top 35 in points last season are going to, essentially... Okay, I can't speak, sorry. Well, 21 guys out here. Guys outside top 35 in points. And, what else? 9 spots available. So, sorry, 18 cars. Why did I say 21? It's not listed right. Point is, 18 cars for this. Literally half of them, are going to wind up missing the field depending on what happens here. Thomas Qatar Jr. for Bay State Motorsports, exactly the same as last season. He started late in the season. Didn't do any favors. Then we have Jimmy Osborne, who's a newcomer. Anyone who knows about Logan Crispin, the 17 Chevy, that number 17 Ritz Chevy, for, what was it, Crispy something? Crispy Ritz Racing or something? I forgot the name. Point is, Crispy Ritz Racing. I got it right. Had to look at the list. Essentially, he's brought in a friend, Jimmy Osborne, sponsored by Dr. Pepper. And they're both full-time, so we're going to see how that goes. As we have Natalie Decker, basically same entry she had from Season 1 for Shifty Racing. Not much to say there. Oh boy, Sasuke Himigari. Now, this is an interesting one. Sasuke Himigari ran... She ran 2 races, or attempted 2 races, driving for Connor Lemon's 75 car for the Motorsports. She DNQ'd her first attempt. She made the second attempt, and I forgot what point she got, but she ran 2 races last season. It's substitute for Connor Lemon, who had injury concern, I think. And now she's signed full on as the 3rd full-time entry, for Jack Smith Noah Racing. Jack Smith Noah Racing, owned by Jack Smith Noah, late model race out of Wisconsin, basically owns the 07, 08, and now the 09. Both his cars won a race last season. Greg Gallin in the 07, he left the car, but they got Connor Mozak in there. We'll see him at the Hillside race itself because he was in the top 35, so you don't see him here. Martin Stone back there in the 70. The car is pretty much exactly the same, though I heard he has an associate sponsor coming up soon. It's just not here yet. Himigari, as you can tell, is in that 09 for Jacksonville Noah Racing. See how that goes for her as she runs the whole season. Now we have Thomas Annunziata, not much to say. The exact same car as last time. Same for Logan Crisp. He ran this from race 10 onwards. See how he does from there. Then we have Mike. Oh, okay, here's something to explain. Where's Michael Hoax? Looking around. There's Josh Berry. We'll get to him in a minute. Looking through the field here. There's Satori, who DNQ'd every single race. He made 1 race in qualifying, but then withdrew. But essentially DNQ'd in every single race he attempted, race 7 onwards. Chris Fortin for Bay State Motorsports, pretty much exactly the same. Actually, I think probably something to add to it, but it's not here yet, just like Martin Stone. Same for Dennison and Cody Dennison of Wayne Pearson Racing or Motorsports, and Ray Cicerelli driving for his own team. Now, for that 88, if I can find the right car, Oh, by the way, there is a manufacturer swap. Yui Ito drove Toyota for Honda Kanako Racing. Tony Breininger drove for Daredevil Motorsports in the 93. They've kept the number and sponsors exactly the same, just that they've swapped teams. So, yeah, since Breininger's a Toyota driver. So now Breininger, she's in the top 35, so you don't see her here. But that's just something I gotta mention. Lyle Lawson's the same, driving for Colin Cropley. Michael Hoeks in the 90. Switched his number over to, switched his number over to 90. He was in the number 88 Green Giant Ford. He decided to switch it out. I think he's driving for, who is he driving for? I think he's driving for either Cropley or Bay State Motorsports. They're somewhat associated with each other. Okay, he's driving for Cropley, or Colin Cropley's team. And this is important because that 88 car from earlier, looking for him, there he is. Driven by Drake Hemlock. Now, for those who remember the 95 of Hemi Cardinal, the number 95 Maxi Toyota, who only drove the dirt races. And he won one of the Bristol dirt races. Well, even though he's still running part-time this season, but he's got a full-time guy. He's got a guy running full-time for him. In the second entry, the 88 of Drake Hemlock, sponsored by Ollie's, which was a sponsor that was with Jeremy Mayfield. And by the way, somebody noticed that car is basically, this car here is basically a Michael Hoeks 88 car. Just that, manufacturer swap, essentially. Because it's essentially spec cars, but like different stickers. So it's just a Michael Hoeks 88 car, but they swapped out a few things. Keeping things simple. Now, as for that Ollie sponsorship, Jeremy Mayfield, there he is in the 74. Driving that car owned by Mike Harmon, or co-owned now, because Mike Harmon ran his own team. So did Jeremy Mayfield. Jeremy Mayfield was part-time last season. Mike Harmon wasn't, and well, they decided to merge the team together or whatnot. Except mainly with Mike Harmon's likeness, as it was a Manscaped sponsorship. Though now they just put Manscaped more on the car for some reason. Anyway, point is the Ollie sponsorship. That's how this Ollie sponsorship went over to the 88 of Drake Hemlock. And yeah, Mike Harmon decided to retire after he had an alright season in season 1, but he decided to retire anyway. So now Jeremy Mayfield's running that thing full time. See how he does. So far, he is not in that top 9. If I look at that top 9, Logan Beard in that Woodburst 21, which is a part-time entry, as fast as on the board. Don't see Satsuki Himigari, but she's second. Josh Berry, got to mention now. I think he's the last guy to talk about as this is coming to a close. Josh Berry drove one race. It was at Nashville for Daredevil Motorsports in that 53 Dodge entry, which was a part-time entry. A lot of guys making one-off starts in that 53 Dodge. Josh Berry was one of them who drove at Nashville Super Speedway. It was one of the more tame races. But anyway, he signed on full-time as Haas Autosport. Ran 3 full-time cars last season. And well, now he's their expansion to 4th. If that sentence made any sense. And so far, he's 3rd on the board. So there you go. Hattori has, we got a minute left, by the way. Hattori has a fast time. Look at that. Yeah, so Sasuke Himigari, 2nd on the board. 4th on the board is Fortin. Yui Ito, 6th. 7th is Kentaro Jr., who is actually still out there. Decker is not there. Martin Sillen got the slowest time, so Hemlock isn't good either. Natalie Decker is on the outside looking in. So right now, the 44 of Thomas Annunziata is holding the final spot. So we're going to have to see how that goes. That one is, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. As the 90 of Hoax is, Hoax is in. I was looking at the wrong one. So Katara Jr. is in, Hoax is in, and Annunziata. Can anyone change that? As we have 30 seconds left on the clock. Looking at the cars, there's Himigari. I'd say rest, but these times are really close. She might get switched out at the last second. Who knows? She might lose at the last second. I don't even know. But then again, I think the times are settled in by now. The best times are behind him, it looks like. So, by the looks of things, both Crispy Ritz cars are going to DQ season opener. Again, 45 full-time drivers plus a bunch of part-time drivers who have confirmed to be back for this season. So there's bound to be quite a few DQs amongst the full-time drivers. Especially when the maximum is 42. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah, they're starting to settle in. So that there's your 9 there. There's the guys who have qualified, who have qualified because I forgot what to say. So there's Journey Mayfield at 74. That is, wow. So yeah, there are your times. There are your DNQs. Now let's get to the results. Alright, so I already said it, but here's the whole list. Looking through thoroughly, yep. Cicerelli, Osborne, Crisp, Lyle Austin. That sucks. Drake Hemlock, Nally Decker. It should be fair on Hemlock. No, like the Hemi Cardinal team. I'm not sure if they're mainly set up for short tracks or what. I heard Hemlock is quite the short track racer. They're also fairly aggressive. I don't know the whole story on that, but that's kind of something for another time. Trying to remember. Okay, so Nunziata is in. He got the found spot. Who else? Martin Stone has a DQ as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dennis and Hemlock. Oh, Mayfield missed the field too. Wow, not a good start for that team, especially when Mike Harmon never DQ'd that car right away. That's something to mention. Not a good start for Mayfield. But it is what it is. They still got whatever the second race of the season is, because I forgot at the moment. If I could look at my list, it is at Dover. So that'll be something to see. But anyways, for this, for now, that is about it until we get to the main race.